The Fort Wayne Roller Derby will host its final games of the season this weekend.
The organization returned to competition this year after a few very difficult years. 21 Alive sports director Zach Groth is here with their story.
Krista, Brian, we all know people who have developed a passion for a hobby or sport. And for the skaters on the Fort Wayne Roller Derby team, seeing their passion vanish a few years ago, that took a toll. Another night of practice at the Ice House. Skaters grinding away, getting ready for the next game.
Work's always worth it in the end when you can get on the track and you're out there with your teammates.
Competitors from all different backgrounds gather to hone their skills here, a place where they all belong.
I know a lot of other sports, you have very similar body types and definitely a lot of personalities are the same. But here you get a pretty good mix of everything and everybody is needed regardless of shape or size.
These men and women have found a home in this sport, which made it so tough when that home disappeared.
I just didn't even want to think about it. Just thinking about it made me sad and it hurt.
In 2020, the pandemic took all of this away, and the absence of local roller derby loomed large for a lot of the people here on this track.
It was rough. It was very, very different because the change was so immediate.
I've skated my whole life. My car just drove to practice 3 times a week, whether I wanted to go or not. And then just to completely stop, it was really hard.
I went through a huge depression. Roller derby was everything. And it was just immediately cut off. I'm like, what do I do with my world now? My time, everything was weird.
As time went on, roller derby's future in Fort Wayne grew more unclear.
I know personally as well as organizationally, we questioned what it was going to come back, if it was going to come back at all.
Eventually, last year, the team began the process of reviving this organization under a new, simple name, Fort Wayne Roller Derby. Of course, they had to rebuild the roster and put in hours of practice like this. But a true return to competition would require a lot more than that.
We schedule our own games. We work to get all of our staffing. We handle our own merch. We handle our own ticket sales. We don't have an outside parent body doing any of that stuff for us. So it's a lot of work internally to make it happen.
They finally got to lace up the skates and get back on the track in 2023, playing down in Muncie in February. On April 23rd, Roller Derby returned to the Summit City, albeit in a much smaller environment than the team had a few years ago.
We're not at the Coliseum, so we don't have the big to-do, we don't have the big production. It's different, but we're back.
I love it. I definitely missed it. I missed the team building. I missed just being with everybody.
Our fan base tends to be very dedicated. It's people that have been around for a long time. We have people that, whether they're family or not, a lot of them have become family through the organization and over time. So they were really happy to see it come back.
The work continues. Fort Wayne Roller Derby needs to keep building up both the team and the fan base, but that first step went a long way.
It was an unknown, but it worked out. It was a little touch and go. The uncertainty was never fun, but we got through it.
The next big step for this team, the final home game of the year. Fort Wayne Roller Derby skates into action against Kalamazoo this Sunday. Fans can see the junior team play on Sunday at noon, with the co-ed team suiting up at 2 and the women's squad battling on the track at 4. All of that action over at the Ice House.